This episode of Isimo Podcast is sponsored by Edawanda Travel. Please call 909-841-7628 or go to edawandatravel.com to get 15% off of your next vacation quote when you mention Isimo Podcast. That's 15% off a trip to Mexico, a trip to Venezuela, a trip to Chile, a trip to, what's another one?
Argentina.
Yeah. Argentina, a trip to Venezuela. Wouldn't go there, but still, anywhere in the world. You want to go, 15% off, mention Isimo Podcast when you call 909-841-7628 or visit edawandatravel.com. I'm going to Mexico in March, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And I got a great rate from Edawanda Travel. Anyways, thank you very much. Enjoy the Hello and welcome to another episode of Isimo Podcast.
Isimo Podcast.
My name is Gerardo Larcon.
I'm Dominic Angel.
And I'm Ryan Reyes.
And if you haven't already, go ahead and follow us on isimopod on Instagram, isimopod. Email us at isimopod@gmail.com, where today we're going to actually be reading some emails.
Hell yeah, dude. We've been promising this for a minute.
Yeah, we've been, we have like 30,000 emails, so we're just going to pick like our top 7 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah, just a very specific number, but randomly chosen 7.
Yeah, randomly chosen last 7 that have been sent to us.
Sorry for the 30,000 other people, but next time,
step it up, fool. Get better at grammar. I'm dressed like this because we're going to go to a soccer game on Saturday.
Yeah, dude, I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, so I'm gonna I'm not gonna shower or anything. I'm just gonna wear this for
just soak it
for
in.
3 or 4 more days.
Let those hormones, pheromones, those hormones. Let those pheromones, get ripe.
Sink into the freaking panchismo of my
panchismo.
That's what they call it, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
I thought that was the name of today's episode.
No, today's episode, actually, great you would say that. I think today's episode is going to be called Sexy Isimo, because I don't know if you saw, but Ryan has a cowboy hat on right now.
Dude, you look good. I wish I would have got the memo, fool. Like,
I already showed you guys my trick, but I could rock back and forth and the mic moves with me because it's stuck to my poncho.
That's Mexican magic right there. That's that brujeria shit right there.
Yeah, dude, that's the brujeria right there. But today we will be talking about food vendors.
Yeah.
And also, possibly, if it's worth it, Kylie Jenner, whatever her name is.
When are they ever worth it?
You're right. Food vendors. Anyways, no Kardashians speak on Isimo. Kardashisimo? No. Stop it. Anyways, so there's been an influx of attacks on Mexican street vendors, Latino street vendors. Are there more than... Okay, let's start here. Are there more than just Mexican street vendors?
I mean, I'm sure there's got to be. The
guy dressed like in a Mexican hat goes, no.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. What you want me to say? No, but there was a recent attack on June 10th in Linwood, where a female was attacked by 4 different other females. We're talking girl on girl crime here, all right? Yeah. And she had like a neck brace on and shit. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me is like, how much is this like insurance claim shit? Which, by the way, get your money if that's the case, because you know how dramatic people can get. Like, if my mom punches me 5 times in the face and I just push her, she's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she takes the mic with her.
Yeah, she takes the mic with her. Oh.
I mean, yeah, but also, I mean, if you're a street vendor, I doubt she doesn't have insurance.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Medical bills are fucking nuts, dude. My mom was in the hospital last year, and luckily, I mean, we got lucky because she was on Medi-Cal. Yeah. But that shit was like $10,000 for 3 days.
It was insane.
Yeah, my dad told me that the freaking room he was staying in was like $300,000.
Yeah.
For like a 3-day visit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they nickel and dime you for any little thing. If you fucking ask for hand wipes, $50. No, I don't know.
$50 hand wipes. Yeah. They treat my mom this way. That's crazy. I mean, imagine not having insurance
Oh, I don't need to imagine.
Same here. I don't have it either.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Do you have insurance, Ryan?
He's on
Yeah.
Medicare.
Dude, Ryan's the only one here with insurance.
Yeah.
He's like, it is what it is. I had to wear that hat to a party. A freaking basically like a ranchero party.
Yeah.
Party.
The infamous ranchero party from.
No, that was a different one.
Oh.
Me and my girlfriend go to a lot of these freaking backyard parties. This one, there was just we knew there was a mechanical bull there. So I bought my girlfriend this hat, and I got that hat myself. Guess how
you
much
do
the
the
hat
thing?
costs?
$27.
$2.50.
Okay, I knew it was either gonna be really low or like
Insanely
Moderate.
expensive.
$50.
27 is not expensive.
Gary Busey wore that hat. That's what they told me when they sold it.
It's not a Stetson.
Oh boy. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy! It's not a step what?
You telling me this isn't a Stetson?
No. It says Stetson like a really expensive
Stetson's like the Cadillac of hats.
hat. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Is it? It's like it has a TV on the front of it. and
Yeah, dude, it comes with cup holders.
shit? It comes with cup holders. Imagine, does it?
It's one of those beer mug hats.
Dude, Stetson.
I forgot those exist.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, so like I was saying, so she, I don't know how much of it is an insurance fraud or claim.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 0.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Because when you see like people do get that hurt though. That's the thing too. So, but coming from where I come from, people like this aren't really that hurt. Anyways, but I'm not trying to say that I'm on the side of the street vendor here. I'm just trying to make a joke too.
I know.
But I feel terrible with you guys. You guys are like this when you're not on screen.
Oh, you saw my hand?
But anyway, so the Linwood attack. There's also been this attack in like a predominantly like lower class neighborhood where blacks and Mexicans live together. But there was like some kind of war between two families where these black kids threw around these mangoes on a Mexican's cart. That's what, if you read the story rather than watching the video, it tells you like this whole thing.
So it was between families?
Yeah, it was like the mother was like saying for the kids to go do this to the guy.
That's
crazy.
wild.
And the mother wasn't held accountable. It was like people responding in comments saying like, why wasn't the mother like given a $900 ticket? Because the guy got a $900 ticket from Long Beach PD, but then they revoked it because they're like, that's not how we handle our business.
Yeah. Well, that's what the news thing that we saw said. Like after they revoked it, they did find her for vandalism.
Yeah, they cited
found
her
her
for vandalism.
They cited her.
Oh, the girl.
The mom.
The mom.
Yeah.
They said a woman that was with the kids was cited for vandalism.
Oh, shit.
Which is
crazy.
like a pretty light, like...
Yeah.
That was assault. It could have been a conspiracy to commit... like...
Also, hate crime? Is that punishable by law?
Yeah.
If we've ever as a hate crime, it's like I think there's a higher penalty.
Oh, shit. Okay. And then so there was that one, and then there's the other one we looked at, which was what?
There's the
craziest one.
Dude, I almost wanted to throw up when I saw the...
It was in San Bernardino.
It wasn't super graphic, but it was just fucking insane. It was in San Bernardino.
The guy that was huffing the paint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is irrelevant to the story.
Right.
No, it's because...
No, it's important you say that it is irrelevant because they try to cite that as the reason why he smashed his car into a lady's fucking fruit cart.
Yeah, that's his defense.
You see security footage of an SUV stopping, clocking a vendor, and then just gunning it and like fully crashing the car and running over this woman. It's
insane.
Like it's fucking disgusting. Like, ugh.
Yeah. And then the same thing with that girl. She's like, but for good reason, okay?
But for good
reason. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Tell me you were abused without telling me you were abused. I barely touched you. Stop crying.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that so many times. I kind of like blacked out right there for a second. No, but and then also there was that girl stealing the flowers from a guy, which by the way, the guy, come on, you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know what happened. I just saw the
She did look like a tall piece of beast. By the way, I don't know why I said piece of. I was trying to say beast. She looked like a tall beast looking for some flowers, and she attacked this guy, stole the flowers, and ran off.
I mean, the thing is too is that I feel like, I mean, whatever. We don't know what. Regardless, is he was attacked, and a lot of times in these positions, like when anyone that's like undocumented,
Yeah.
they tend to not. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say they tend to, but it seems like they kind of just keep their head down and wait for it to be over, because if they retaliate, if they do anything, they don't want to bring attention to themselves.
Yeah.
So they kind of just sit there and take it. I mean, in one of the videos we saw, they said that there was a community activist, and I forget his name, but I think he's the one that they call Hood Santa.
Oh yeah, Hood Santa.
Yeah, but he was saying that I think it was him that he was saying that of all the vendors that he talks to, 75% of them say that they've been attacked before. And so these stories are just like drops in a bucket of like what really goes on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And also I want to say that I joke around a lot by saying insurance fraud and whatnot, and like I don't believe people, but I'm trying to radicalize these two into believing what they believe, because I believe it's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But I want to hear you guys be like, no, you're a fucking idiot because you think it's insurance fraud, which I do. I'm just kidding. Bad joke. I get meta with the joke.
What the fuck, Gerardo?
I'm getting meta with the joke, and I love colonizers. Anyways, no, just bad joke. But I think I don't know what do you guys want to talk about with street vendors? Like, I looked up the laws against sidewalk vendors and street vendors because there's two different parties here.
Right.
So some of the things we saw were sidewalk vendors that got attacked. Other things are street vendors like Tacos al Pollo, great carnitas. Hey, check them out. They're everywhere. They're East LA, Pasadena, here in what's it called, San Gabriel, off San Gabriel. I live in Six Flags, but still, they have locations nearby. But it's a great food truck. Food trucks have to go through so much more to get licensed and registered in order to sell food than a sidewalk vendor does. But still, even then, sidewalk vendors have to go through so much. And then they had like these laws or bills were getting passed to like stop giving them tickets. Right. And like to take away the tickets that were already given. But if you were already convicted of your freaking violation or whatever, or the citation you were given, then you had to petition for it to be released.
Yeah, they wouldn't just automatically dissolve it.
Which is crazy. It's like if you should be. It's America, the land of the free, dude. I don't need to show you my ID cards.
Yeah, Arizona.
Dressed like this.
Yeah, you hear that, Arizona?
Yeah.
Fucking
jamooks.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I've been called a jamook before, and it hurt my feelings.
It sounds made up, but I'm sure it's real.
Yeah,
I mean, it is effective.
No, in Mean Streets by Martin Scorsese, they say mooks all the time, and so I think people just put jamooks, like a Jamaican person saw Mean Streets.
What? I don't know what to take.
The sentence got more racist as you progressed.
Oh, really? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
It felt that way. I don't know.
I'm just like this.
The whistle.
The Mexican whistle. The huge factor in all of this is that they make the process so difficult. And on paper, it seems pretty simple. You apply for this, you apply for that. You have to get a health permit. You have to get a city permit, a vending license, all this stuff that you have to deal with, which again, on the surface and in that law that we read, it's pro street vendor, it's pro sidewalk vendor. And like it seems like it's a good idea and it seems like it's beneficial. But what a lot of people don't take into account is that I'm sure a lot of the people that are vending, are doing that because they need to make a living. They need to earn money to survive, and they're at risk because they can't get a job because they're undocumented.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they turn to, street vending to make, an honest living. It's hard work. And that's what they do. And so it's instead of becoming a form of protection for them to say that they are able to now do what they want to do and make a living, it actually is putting a target on their head, because we saw with the people, not the people in Linwood, but with the one
with Street Jesus or whatever.
Yeah.
Hood Jesus.
Hood Santa.
Okay, who's Street Jesus? Is Jorge Masvidal.
That's an HBO Max show.
That's a UFC fighter. Anyways.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he got a ticket. It was in Long Beach. Yeah, that dude got a ticket after he was attacked. Him and his friend were both attacked, and they were both given $900 tickets. So it's like, and any officer, if they have a slow day, if they're bored, if they're in a bad mood, if whatever, for any reason, they could just pass by and stop a street vendor and ask for his permits. It's the same as like, asking. They can't ask for his papers, so they're gonna stop and give him a ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. It sucks. If you were able to get a better job or start your own business, street vending too. There's business. It is a business. It's a nice job. I'm not saying it's a better job.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if I could be a fucking street vendor selling like my own kind of pretzels or something or churros, you know what I'm saying? That'd be pretty dope. Got a smile on my face all the time I go everywhere because I don't have to get fucking attacked and shit. And if you're gonna make us go through, this is a radical view, by the way. I already told you earlier. But if you're gonna make us go through this process of getting like permits and shit, then like give us security if we make it through that process, or give us some sort of a relationship with the cops, or some incentive of giving like free food to cops. That's why Chipotle does it. Did you know that?
I mean,
because if you give free food to cops, the cops are gonna be around your business more. So Chipotle has this idea of like, okay, so if we give free food to cops, then they're gonna be around here more. It makes it like a feeling of security.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but also I don't agree with that. But I also...
Well, yeah, change the public view, of course. Yeah, don't let the public just attack street vendors.
At where we're at right now, like, I'm full, like, we don't need cops. We need other systems in place. And it shouldn't... That's the thing, in my opinion, it shouldn't take, giving free shit to cops for them to do their jobs correctly.
Yeah, like, give us some sort of security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it that's the thing, too, is that... this is a vulnerable community. Vendors they're out there by themselves. They're easy targets. They have money on hand. They usually only work in cash. And a lot of people know that they just can't go to the cops or they won't. So they need something in place.
Yeah.
Unless there's going to be fucking like independent patrol, like...
Yeah, some independent patrol. Street Jesuses. The Street Jesuses.
The Street Jesus.
Yeah.
With his disciples.
Jesus is like, I got another job, dude. I can't just be going out here watching street vendors. But yeah, I don't know. Have you guys ever bought flowers off the freeway?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few times.
How much does it cost you guys?
Depends on the size, but it's just like...
Usually it's around 12. I think it's usually like $12 to $24, depending on the size.
Look it. So people can call me pocho all they want, right? But that's how I know if I'm a true pocho or not. The price a freaking flower vendor gives me. So I hit them with the "Hola, cómo estás, compa?" And then they look at me. In their head, they're probably thinking like $10 for right now. You know what I mean? And then like as we keep going, they're like, "¿Qué quieres?" And I say something like tulips. They're like $20. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, okay, this is a pocho. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you get charged more for the whiter you are. Is that a racist thought? That's a racist thought.
I don't think so. No, I mean, you want to take care of your people, and there's like you said, it's somebody told us this really good word about like kinship or brotherhood, like in Spanish, and I forgot what it was called. But there's, your
compadres?
Yeah. No, that's not the word. But, you want to have like a kinship between your people. And I definitely see that when somebody is made to feel comfortable, because you got to think that these fools they're standing on next to the freeway or on a corner of the street all fucking day in the heat, and they can't leave, and they're uncomfortable. So when you make them feel comfortable, I think they want to reciprocate.
Oh, okay.
And part of that is like just speaking Spanish to them and showing that you're legit, I guess. Yeah. That's a problem that I have, that I don't speak Spanish with them, but I always tip them.
Oh, okay. I don't tip them by accident. I didn't realize you can until right now.
You can always tip. You can tip anybody you want, dude.
You're right. Have you bought street flowers?
Like with my brother and mom.
He doesn't drive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But we usually tell him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Usually I have to pay $10.
Yeah, I think that's a good price. I usually do. It's like if I'm driving, it's 12, and then usually like sometimes like for Mother's Day, I got a big one for my mom, and that was like
$20.
I think it was 22, and I gave him 26.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then also so with those kind of street vendors or sidewalk vendors, I guess you could say the difference between those two. Bro, we were shooting the M word in the Flower District.
Yeah.
During Valentine's Day. I don't think you were there Valentine's Day.
No, not. I had missed that week.
But it was like the busiest I've ever seen any fucking street, especially during COVID too.
My mom said that they were charging people just to get in. to the district.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I just like snuck through or what. I did go through the gutters to get there, so
maybe a different part of it, because she was telling me she went to the flower district to get stuff. And
yeah, so it does cost money to go into like a bigger, what's it called, like those mall stores.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, like plazas, I guess you'd say. But yeah, I've never seen it as busy as it is. And then to see the process for a sidewalk flower vendor, they go to the flower district, they buy these big old rectangles of flowers. Mm-hmm. They're like this big, and there's like a bunch of flowers inside of them. They have like pallets of them.
Yeah.
And they take them with them, and then they go home. They make little bouquets. Bro, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Some would consider it surgery. I'm just kidding.
Flower surgery.
Yeah. You work in tea, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been on the street selling tea? It's just a weird question.
No, like we've done like farmers markets, and when I worked for the previous owners, we did like samples, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So I used to sell tea before my mom bought the company or bought the shop. I used to work for the company, and the way that I got started was my older brother brought me on, and so we did 2 farmers markets, one in Studio City and one in Hollywood, which Hollywood is the biggest farmers market in Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one I forget it's Selma and then another street. It's near where the old Amoeba Records was. Anyway, I used to sell there, and that shit, it's a big setup. You have a lot of product. I had to go from Baldwin Park to Glendora to pick up this van, and then drive me and my brother at 5 o'clock in the morning all the way to Studio City, drop him off, unload all of his setup, and then go to Hollywood and do that, and then be outside in the heat, helping people. It's easier, it's safer than like a sidewalk vendor, for sure. Like, I didn't say I had it the hardest, but even just the amount of work that I had to do, especially, I'm out there till 2 o'clock, and then I have to pack everything up all on my own, and then go pick everybody. I did all the driving for that company, so it was like I literally was working 12 to 14-hour days sometimes.
Yeah,
and that, like I said, what people do on the streets chopping fruit, dude, that's the people I feel for the most, is the fruit vendors.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, dude, I went to the Target right here.
Uh-huh.
They don't know how to take care of onions, dude. This is just a random thought here, but they don't know how to take care of the onions there, dude. The onions look like they haven't moved in fucking 3 months.
You're saying Target
I've
missed the mark?
A thing.
Yeah.
In general, I feel like a lot of markets like had issues with their produce because they weren't pumping them out as much. Because everyone was like, during COVID, I feel like the first few months, everyone was like focused on dry stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Because I noticed like my local Food for Less and a few other places that I've tried going to instead, it's the same thing where like certain ones, like however harder it gets to get that product during COVID, that's like why it's like that. There was like whole bunches of onions that were like starting to turn.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, that is gross. That's what I'm saying. These onions are like, there's like at least 3 layers in the onion that are just molded.
Yeah. If anything, like I know a little bit because I feel like my mom and there's certain things that we would shop at similar centers where like these vendors would get their spices and stuff like that for their like mangoes and stuff. And some of them closed, like straight up closed down. Like when you put that on top of them trying to be street vendors during COVID, it's like 10 times as hard as it already is, because now like their suppliers are going out of business and they have to like find other ways of finding the things they sell.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody needs a patent, some way of like hiding cash on hand, Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, but I mean, you see what happens. They just get beat up. They're all out there on their own, and then they can't be carrying a weapon because they'll get cited for carrying a weapon. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's the truth, but I feel like it's just everything is. It's just difficult. They're in a very like a very
precarious
position. I was trying to think of a better word.
Whoa, okay, the words I think aren't good enough.
I do think I think that was the thing before, because I remember not every vendor, and I don't want to perpetuate this idea, but I remember like once in a while I would see someone, like maybe we knew them or they were like a family member of one of my friends, so they would talk to them, and because we were able to get closer, I would always notice like once in a while they'd have like a bat hidden away somewhere or like something on their cart that seems inconspicuous, but it's like if they needed to, they could pull it off. And they, after a while, like weren't allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with my uncle's, what's it called? Engine or transmission building.
Yeah.
Shop, a mechanic shop. My bad. What the fuck? Where was I for 3 seconds there? Yeah. For them, they had to stop carrying a bat inside of their fucking shop.
Yeah, because it's like considered like inciting violence or whatever, and it's like no, they need that for protection.
Yeah. And but liberals everywhere trying to take away our guns too. Come on now.
I believe, and this is where you beeps like all of these laws that are protections are not protections. They're actually putting targets on these people's heads. Like what the fuck does it matter if this fool has a health permit or like all of these? If he pays for a piece of paper, like there should still be something. Like anybody should just be able to set up and sell whatever they want.
Yeah, there should be some effective word of mouth in law. Word of mouth will go a far way. If I go up to you guys and I go, hey, don't go to freaking Zara's Tacos over here because Zara's Tacos, I no longer have a lower intestine. You know what I mean? Like, all due to their freaking steak over there, dude. Like, for instance, sorry, Manny, but we got to call you out. It's not the real name of the place down here, but Manny's Tacos, if you're right here down the street. Terrible. I had food there. You guys brought me food there. I love you guys both. Appreciate you both. Terrible food. Manny. Figure out what you're doing, all right? You know, if you don't believe me, go try it for yourself. Give them some business. And then if you love it, then go eat there all the time. But yeah.
And this is to say that the court of public opinion should be the deciding.
Yeah. I don't think laws should hold you against like really. What are you going to eat that's going to kill you?
The only laws that should be in place should be about like preventing violent crime.
Yeah,
really, that's it. Like what?
And these health laws are preventing you from putting a law in place to prevent violent crime.
And it's bullshit because vendors get stopped all the time for health permits, all the time. But like white businesses don't. That never happens. This was a few years ago, so you know that Boyle Heights and Highland Park are like heavily gentrified neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years. I mean, it's been happening, but like progressively. Anyway, there was a coffee shop in Boyle Heights that had opened up called like Wavy Coffee or something like that. Wavy Records, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And they signed up as something else, as like a record shop or like and then but they tagged on coffee and they tagged on, all this other shit. And they looked up the permits. Activists looked at the permits and they didn't have food permits or health permits. And the protesters outside, because they don't want a gentrifier in their neighborhood, they got the cops called on them instead of like the people that own the business going out to talk to them. Anyway, the whole point is like the cops were there and they were there to protect the business, and people are like, where's their food permit? Are you gonna check? And they're like, no, we haven't got a complaint. And they're like, I'm complaining right now. They don't have a food permit. Can you check it? Can you look into that? And they're like, no.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. You go outside, you see white kids starting lemonade stands. Where are their food permits, huh? Yeah. They can't be serving us freaking sugary water just because they want to go outside and have a good time. Where's your guns at? I'm just kidding. Sorry. No, but yeah, lemonade stands. You don't ask them for food permits. They're allowed to charge 25 cents a cup, which overpriced by the way, especially for how badly it tastes.
25 cents? What is this, 1956?
That's another thing too. Is like I've seen at least twice before where there was like some like not a puff piece, but like a smaller story where. Even in that regard, like if it's a non-white kid, they get shut. Someone calls the police on that kid and has them shut down because you need a permit to run a lemonade stand now.
Yeah. Which I'm trying to point out the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
Lemonade stands. Bro, I had a car wash service when I was a kid. When I was like 14, 15 years old. Jerry's, by the way. I used to get called Jerry back in freaking elementary school. Anyways, I had a flashback. But so I was like more like 9 or 10 years old. it was Jerry's. I would go around washing people's cars. I didn't need to have a fucking Better Business Bureau account to freaking run my little car wash because I'm 9 years old, 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I used to sell lemonade or Gatorades at the bottom of my street when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a businessman, basically, is what I'm saying. But anyways, what were you going to say? I'm just kidding. No. But like starting those things, like cops would never come by and ask me for my license. Like maybe those laws were in place, but getting down to the like nitty gritty of things now where people are like really by the book, like living off this textbook called law. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's throw out some laws, right?
Laws. Yeah. No, dude, it's like seriously, like laws are put in place like as a way to punish people, and it's a way to target people. Like laws, the laws that exist that are like punishing, you know, permits and all this shit. This is literally just to keep tabs on people and to prevent people from making money. Like,
yeah.
That's why you have to pay for every single application, and then you have a fee for, it's like fees on fees, like all kinds of shit. And literally it is just an excuse for them to, you know, give you a ticket or to arrest you. Like there's no benefit, there's no health benefit, there's no programs in place that are like, if you're a corporation and if you're McDonald's, yeah, give them a fucking health permit because they have a health standard. You know, they're seeing more people, all this shit. But it's like somebody that's on the street selling fucking fruit. You know, if somebody gets sick from eating this fruit, then go get them. They're on the same fucking corner every single time. Like, you know, have ways to hold people accountable and identify them for sure. But these laws don't come into place until they need a reason. So like it's laws like this to prevent vendors from selling without a permit is because why? Because people are complaining about, you know, a Mexican selling fruit on their sidewalk, or that's how it feels, is that they just don't want to see these people out on the street. No one else is allowed to make a buck, or like everyone else is allowed to make a buck except for fucking street vendors, like Mexican street vendors, Latino street vendors. Yeah. Like it's crazy because you look at, I just had a point and I forgot what it was right now. I lost my
oh no, so looking at that bill that we saw got passed, where people that had already had tickets or citations in order or in process, those things would get dropped. Below it gave the reasoning behind it, and it said because sidewalk vendors are a hot commodity. I don't know the words, okay, sorry. But the sidewalk vendors are for low income and immigrant communities, and they sell like valued goods in those communities. It's totally marketed towards us. Like they're I don't know if they're trying to realize the reasons why it's terrible that they gave these freaking violations out, or why they're in these communities to begin with. I think one of the answers you already touched on earlier was finding a way to police these things on a more community-based level. Mm-hmm. You know, if somebody dressed like this should walk around and be like, "Hey, you gave me diarrhea last week." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what we see with social media anyway. Like people give people shout outs, they call other people out, and then people know whether or not to fuck with that business. Yeah. Like that's how it's been working, you know. And they lose their business because they're fucking around and doing all the wrong shit. So like, let that happen to them. Let them not be able to operate a business that way. Like you said, leave it in the hands of community. We don't need a power structure in place to keep people in line. This is all about keeping people in line and keeping people down. Like that's really all it is.
And another way of looking at it too is like, if it is for fucking low income immigrant communities, then why is the first major movie about a fucking food truck by Jon Favreau?
Dude,
you know what I mean?
And guess what? That fool drove a truck from Miami to California and didn't apply for a permit once.
It's true.
Actually.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan.
I've seen the movie.
I hate that movie. It sucks.
Wait, I like the movie.
No, there's no conflict throughout the whole movie. He's a shitty father, and I just don't like him.
He's a great father.
And he fucking makes Cubanos.
I think you just don't like Jon Favreau. I've seen that movie. It's a good movie, but also it's never, they don't explicitly show it, but there is a scene where there's a question of his permit. He does get permits.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
That scene, he gives the officer free food.
No, he says, "Do you have a permit?" He says, "Yes," and
then he gives him free food.
And also in the process of trying to go on this tour of a bunch of cities, there's a line where he says, "I'm still trying to get the permits for these cities." So he did get permits for every city.
He does get permits.
Fuck.
Yeah.
In that scene, he pulls out a permit. He's like, "You just have to go down the street. You can't do it right here. Your permit's for Southside."
Yeah. In Miami.
The movie sucks.
No, I like the movie actually, but
It's a really good movie.
it is just like weird. Like why make it about Jon Favreau and a fucking Roy Choi Japanese person taking tacos and doing his own thing with it? Like around, it's all like you guys are like dancing around the fact that Mexicans are the biggest street vendors in Los Angeles, and then like this Cuban thing from Florida comes all the way to LA and they start like a Cuban sandwich thing out here.
Is Jon Favreau Cuban?
No, it was the
just
thing.
telling.
His character like grew up in Miami in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So did Cubans.
Yeah.
But at the very end of the movie, spoiler alert, they start a Cubano sandwich place out here.
Yeah, I know.
But it looks pretty tight though. I mean, honestly, Cubanos too, they're fucking bomb.
They're
I'm not saying
good.
that they're not.
Nothing bad about the movie, but I get what he's trying to say. It's like there's literally no conflict in the story. It's just like a progressive thing the whole time.
It's
Well, there's
just
a
about a
conflict.
white man, everything going right for him.
There's a
Finding his
conflict in the
dream.
relationship between him and the food critic, and also there's a relationship between Jon Favreau and his son. That's two conflicts right there. Excuse me, buddy.
That wasn't the point.
Those
of
are
the
at the
story.
beginning though, and it
That was
just
the
goes up
afterthought.
from there.
Exactly. So the closing resolution is just half of the movie. So also there's a conflict between him and his wife remaining divorced or getting back together, which is a beautiful story.
I hope he took care of John Leguizamo's character when he got the restaurant.
Yeah.
He did. He became head chef.
Did he? He became sous chef.
Yeah,
He was the head
John
chef.
Leguizamo started working there, but John Leguizamo, Cuban.
That fool's Puerto Rican.
That's what I said.
It's funny because I immediately thought of that movie Past. That's like a joke that whole time.
Anyways, closing thoughts on street vendors for now.
Protect all vendors.
Just leave him alone, damn it.
Donate to GoFundMe's if you guys have money. I know we got some rich listeners out there. If you guys have money, donate to GoFundMe's of these people that got attacked. Maybe they're already reached their goals or whatnot, but I'm sure more attacks will happen in the future. So
Don't be afraid to buy from vendors.
Yeah.
Give them a tip. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard work. Give them a bottle of water.
yeah,
I was gonna say to the insurance thing. That's probably what that lady, like, they had a thing for her. That's probably what that was for, is to help her pay off her medical bills.
yeah. So donate to GoFundMe's. I really enjoyed Tacos El Pollo. I replaced Chipotle with Tacos El Pollo.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been
Big
a minute.
news.
You guys already knew that. So, anyways, I've always loved Tacos El Pollo more than Chipotle. Chipotle was just closer to me. Tacos El Pollo, they have a. I just keep saying it over and over. They have a location in San Gabriel, East LA, Pasadena. Do yourself a favor, check them out.
why are you guys protecting Jon Favreau?
Okay.
It's just not a bad movie.
Anyway,
No, it's a great movie. It's a great movie,
a good
and
movie.
I almost cry every time I watch it. So we're gonna go to. We're gonna skip over the cry part there.
no, let's.
It's just like cuts.
Now we're just gonna read emails. We have a lot of emails. We fucking have not caught up on it yet, and we promised email episodes for the last 5 episodes.
Let's do it.
If we
This
read
is
your
the one to
email,
do it.
do me a favor and shout us out in a comment. Say, hey, this is I don't agree with what you guys said about my email. Honestly, I'm being completely honest with you guys. We have not read any of these emails yet. All right, right? Have you guys read the emails? Don't lie to me.
I haven't.
Okay. See, this is how much they care about the podcast. They don't read the emails. I'm just kidding. Nobody read the emails. All 3 of us don't care about this podcast. I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyways, here we go. Podcast email section.
What was that?
Sorry. Okay. Fan emails. Okay. Here we go. I'm a really good reader. Do you guys believe me? Okay. I'm a really good reader.
I believe you.
How do you? What is HEY?
Okay.
Immediately.
Anyways, hey, I really enjoy the pod. I'm not Latinx myself, but I'm super interested in all your perspectives. I love movies and have a lot of opinions about good, bad representation of BIPOC people in movies.
Is this the one about Lilo and Stitch and Moana?
So you do read the fucking emails?
we read, like,
this
3 of
one.
them.
This was like the first
2
one we ever
Oh
episodes.
yes,
read.
this one's about Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Well, can you read the last part just so the audience knows what?
Lilo and Stitch. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. She's Hawaiian, and apparently Dom doesn't care about that. Okay, so anyways, Lilo and Stitch. She's Hawaiian. Lilo and Stitch is partially to because of what? Oh, she's partial to Lilo and Stitch because it's genuinely a great film. Debatable. And
What?
What? I've never seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not up for debate, Gerard.
That does show real experiences Native Hawaiians go through, and Disney kind of gets ups for making one of the villains of the movie the actual U.S. government. But it's still not anything that really shows the culture of Hawaiians besides hula. It's more so showing the hardship and humiliation of being Native Hawaiian post-colonization, where we were forced to share space with and also entertain white people. Like the scene of Nani's work, which she calls a fake luau, and David is made to do a fire dance with, which burns the stage. So many more examples from just Disney, like Princess and the Frog, Aladdin, Big Hero 6, but it's obviously not just Disney. It's all white movie producers and writers. That's all. Loved your discussion. Excited for more episodes.
Cool.
Yeah, so I agree. I think white people have a very distorted view of class society and the way they choose to speak on class issues, especially with like Aladdin being a fucking street rat that robs bread every day with a monkey. Like, that's crazy, dude.
But also that he's non-denominational. Like, he's not. They made up Agrabah, like it's all made up shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's also what earlier in the email she's talking about Moana.
So I should have read the whole fucking email, is what you're saying.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But she's talking about Moana and how that's a Polynesian story, but it's not based in Polynesian folklore. It's just like it's just a setting for a Western style storytelling.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I agree 100%. You know, they don't know how to tell our stories because they're not letting us tell our stories. Coco was produced and directed by white people.
Yeah.
You know, and even as good as a movie that it was, I didn't see it.
I saw it.
Oh my God.
It's still disheartening to see that. Like, they can't find somebody to do that. Even if there was like a mentorship program where if there's like, hey, here's a new vendor a new director who's, you know, Mexican that we think can tell this story but doesn't have experience in animation. Here's some people that can help you, and they can do it in that way. They don't need to be the director producer team. Like, you know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I found that out, especially like how much Coco means to like the Latino community, to Mexicans specifically. But like, it's just like, why not let us tell our own stories? Like, why is there always like a qualifier? Because if you didn't have these people on there, would we have been able to make this movie?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know their connection to the community. There's a movie called The Last Black Man in San Francisco, and the director of that movie is white, but he wrote it with the lead actor, I think, who's black. And like they wrote it together, and the guy is from San Francisco and like is part of the community. Like, he is familiar with gentrification, all that stuff. So like in that case, you know, everybody involved was comfortable with letting this guy direct.
Yeah.
But with Lilo and Stitch is interesting to me because I can't speak for, you know, Hawaiians or Pacific Islanders, Polynesians, and the representation. Sorry to mix all of those together, but I just mean like, for me, because I grew up in the United States, and like I want representation like that I saw in Lilo and Stitch, because I don't want to be pigeonholed into like, this is how we see Mexicans. This is how they have to act. I've never seen a good representation, like an honest representation of like a Chicano or like a somebody that's like me, that is kind of in between in this in between situation. Yeah. Like, I don't want to feel like, I'm tired of seeing Mexican stories that are about going to college or about drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even using like Disney as a reference, I think the only thing that I remember that we've seen that's exclusively all the characters were like Central America, Latin American, is Emperor's New Groove. And that was written and produced all entirely by white people. I remember there was a thing on TikTok where someone was like, we missed out on an actual version of the movie. And she was explaining like all the people that get switched around. It's like, instead of, who's the lead in that one?
David Spade.
Instead of David Spade, it's going to be Owen Wilson. And instead of the guy that plays...
John Goodman.
it was gonna be I don't know, some other comedian, but it was like, and she was like, they changed all the writers and they completely cut out the guy that wrote the original story, and I was like, so what you're saying is this movie about brown people but written and produced by white people, we almost had a version that it was written and produced just by another group of white people, and it was like, what are you complaining about? It's the exact same movie. They changed the title.
Yeah, they were trying to say that it would have been a better movie or better story, but it's still the same situation. It's still all white people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still believe in not looking at the past and being like, look at this. Like, use that as a reason to go forward and do something else. And don't, like, I think it's important to watch those things. I think it's important to watch Coco. I think it's important to watch Wolf of Wall Street. You know,
Turn the movies you like.
Well, I would say that I didn't.
Titanic.
I didn't not watch Coco because of like a political reason or because I had like a vendetta against the movie. It just kind of never happened. Mm-hmm. And then when I found that out when they won the Oscar, I was like, oh, that's a little bit disappointing. And then this is a personal lazy thing. That's just my emotions about when I found that. But I didn't like boycott. I boycotted Wolf of Wall Street. For other reasons.
But still, I think these reasons are still a good reason to see the actual movie and then make it fuel you to do it forward. Yeah. Like, you know, La Familia or Mi Familia is a great movie. Like, I feel like that does kind of represent me as a person. Other great Chicano films, they represent a feeling I have for sure. You know, Blood In, Blood Out. I don't know. If I'm an artist, like the artist in that movie I kind of relate with, you know? I wouldn't go out and get stoned and drunk like on the night of one of my biggest fucking art career moments, but I don't know. Those things are relatable and they are fucking. But I can understand how you're saying like you don't want to see Mexicans going to college or succeeding.
I don't want to see Mexicans go to college ever
in film. Like that's the main reason of making the film, you know.
Yeah.
Or like grandma dying, Coco, you know. Anyways, that's enough on that one. What do you guys ask of our audience now for the next batch of emails?
Short. Just
well.
Wait, what?
A couple of sentences.
Oh, it's short. Yeah.
No, I mean, look. Here's the thing. I will say this. I appreciate every single email that we've gotten. They're all great stories. Thank you so much for everybody that sent us an email. For when we do stuff like this, when we're going to be doing email episodes where we answer questions, or if you want us to read your email, you know, 3 or 4 sentences, ask a question, and that way we can get as much in, and it's just easier for everybody. But again, we do appreciate everything that we've gotten so far.
Yes, super appreciate all the emails. I want to start a little thing where we are currently in interior designing, as if you can't tell by the sarape that they're sitting on here. And as you can see, there's a lot of blank space around our wall here. So if you guys can do me a favor and email isimopod@gmail.com and tell us some ideas for interior design as far as like Mexican items go. And we'll try to get as much as possible. And we'll put your name on the item. How about that? If you email us about it.
Yeah.
We already have some items here. They're off screen. You can't even tell. Yeah, you can't tell them. You can't see them.
Yeah, we're getting the process started.
Yeah, we're getting the process started, but still, I would like, you know, those like dolls, like those Mexican dolls. Like I like those dolls. I saw a couple yesterday when we were shopping.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. And then also like the little cholos, like what are they called?
The homies.
Little homies. Yeah. My grandma collects those on my mom's side. She's like 94 years old. She collects little fucking homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So stuff like that. Tell us what you want, and if there's any obscure stuff that I can't even mention right now, I don't even know the obscure stuff that what it would be. Maybe include a picture in the email. Anyways, but yeah, that's my challenge to you guys. Give us items to put inside of the studio.
Yeah, and
questions. Give us questions. Don't give us experiences too. Give us your freaking lived experiences, things you relate with. But give us questions and give us interior design ideas, Mexican interior design ideas.
Yes.
But is there anything else you guys want to say?
Don't.
Well, my name is Gerardo Alarcon. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at isimopod, ISIMOPOD. Email us at isimopod@gmail.com. Please rate and review if you're listening to Apple Podcasts. Please follow if you're on Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a like and a comment below.
If you made it this far, ask us what your favorite thing to buy on the street is. Or tell us what your favorite thing is to buy.
Yeah, what's your favorite street vendor thing to buy? And also, don't forget to email us with the interior design thing. My name is Gerardo Alarcon.
I'm Dominic Angel.
And I'm Ryan Reyes.
And don't fly. Don't fly.
Don't fly.
Isimopod.
Isimopod.